But this, for me, was one of the biggest musical moments of the week. She's capable of mesmerizing people just by standing still and singing. You know, 10 years ago, when a cultural moment would happen, that might have had to do with music, that might have to do with film, with anything. It would have been happening for everybody at the same time. Today, though, we are pumped with so much content that it's virtually impossible for a moment to feel big for everybody at the same time. Some people might feel the moment 2 months from today because that's when it hits your algorithm. Some people might see the moment as it happens because they were present when that happened. What I want to do with this episode is try to take some time to discuss some of the cultural moments that feel big enough for me that I would have wanted that moment to be felt by everybody. Beyonce Cowboy Carter Tour started earlier this week. As with anything Beyonce and with anything that has to do with a celebrated Black personality, there's been mass levels of controversies about this. There's been an inordinate amount of hateration online for this, but there's also been an inordinate amount of love for her talent. In the midst of all of that, we've discussed the hate, the absolute love. We've also discussed Blue Ivy dancing. We've discussed her mom coming out with her book at the same time, The Matriarch, which has become a New York Times bestseller. But there's a single moment in her concert appearances this week which was so mesmerizing that I felt like should have captured the attention of everybody beyond anything else she's been doing. And I'm talking about her performance of the song Daughter. It felt like an attempt to remind the public that she's still one of the greatest voices of her generation, of this generation, of any generation. Some of my favorite Beyonce moments aren't the great dancing performances, although she's amazing at that, aren't the impressive visuals, although she's amazing at that. The moments that I tend to like the most is the moment where she's still and she delivers a vocal performance, and the moment where she's capable of mesmerizing people just by standing still and singing. And the performance of Daughter during her recent concert was one of those performances. It's one thing to be able to capture the attention of a group of people by standing still and singing. A small group of people, tens or hundreds of people, is another thing altogether. To be able to do that, capture and mesmerize 60,000 or more people by standing still. In this case, in this circumstance, there were two elements: a single person with a mic and a dress. Even the dress was meant to serve the interest of the voice, of the performance, of the storytelling, of the melody, with the striking lighting to the change in lighting. But the moment that strike me the most is the moment where everything else around her, even the dress, went dark as she was singing, as she paused. And the dress, in service to her vocal talent, reanimated itself as she started singing. It was almost like a reminder to the people watching of what you're supposed to feel while listening to her sing. It was kind of a visual reminder of the emotion that is supposed to be captured during that moment. And it was in complete service to a vocal talent, in complete service to the message of the song and to the melody and to the moment of the song. But this, for me, was one of the biggest musical moments of the week. This alcohol and smell of